On this week's episode of BJ in the Morning, we're getting our bathing suits on because we're channel surfing with the cable guy. Welcome back to BJ in the Morning, your favorite dirty name podcast where we put our nostalgia to the test with first-time watches, rewatches, and we're going to see what holds up. Brendan?
Juan?
How you doing today?
I'm doing all right, man. Good job with the intro.
Thank you.
Solid intro today.
Thank you.
We'll see if I mess it up on the next one.
Thank you.
Juan, so we went back in time again.
Mm-hmm.
To what year? What year did we go to?
1996.
Anticipation builds.
My brain rebooted for a second.
It's like it wasn't built in 1992.
Exactly. Yeah. 1996.
Yeah. So we watched The Cable Guy.
Yeah.
What a ride.
Yeah.
I've seen this movie a bunch of times. I couldn't tell you how many times.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't count on one hand or two hands probably.
Yeah.
But this was always one of those movies that I thought was great.
You know, I actually didn't know that this movie was directed by Ben Stiller.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that.
It says it at the beginning, though.
I know, but I don't pay attention. Never really pay attention to that. But Ben Stiller in 1996?
Yeah.
Crazy.
He was really getting his footing with like becoming a filmmaker instead of just an actor.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I mean, he had been working on movies before, but this one, like being the flop that it was when it came out, he said on a podcast that it kind of defined his movie making styles and it helped him become the filmmaker he is today. And when you really think about it, it's like he goes from like this era of Cable Guy to things like Severance now, right? Mm-hmm. Which one of the best shows of the last 10 years, I think.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see that difference. And the fact that Ben friggin' Stiller made this and now makes serious things later on that you would never think based on The Cable Guy.
Well, this movie was silly and quirky because of Jim Carrey.
For the most part.
But the movie itself is pretty serious. Like it's the storyline is more of like a thriller.
I feel it might be a hot take.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how many people have said this. Probably tons, because we're not the only ones who talk about movies on the internet.
Right.
We're one of a billion, apparently.
Right.
But I think this movie flopped because everyone talks about. This movie flopped because they were expecting Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, Jim Carrey, right? And that's not what we get at all. But I think this movie falls in line with more of like Scream than it does Ace Ventura, right? I feel like it's a parody almost of thriller movies of the time. Like the 90s were big on thrillers, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like this movie was it's like the Scream version of
Scream.
Thrillers. Not horror movies, but thrillers, you know. Examples, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. The only movie that's in my head right now is Misery for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's the one. Why is Misery in my head right now?
Because the lady is crazy and obsessed with that writer?
Shit, you're right. That makes sense. That makes sense. So yeah, we rewatched The Cable Guy for this week's episode of BJ in the Morning Nostalgia Check. Mm-hmm. And before jumping back into this movie, when do you think the last time you watched it was?
Oh, it's been a minute. It's been at least 5 years, probably.
Yeah, it's been quite a while for me. But before you rewatched it for the podcast, what scenes like stood out to you? Like what stuck in your head? Are there things where you were like, I can't wait for this moment? Besides the one that we quote all the time, which is the medieval times.
The medieval times area. I think other than that part of the movie, the part where he's running down the hallway and he's wearing the green contacts. That's a dream sequence.
Yeah, it's a dream that he's having.
And I don't know. I feel like that image of Jim Carrey just stays in my head a lot of the time when I think about this movie.
Yeah.
I did notice, like, I was telling myself in my head while watching this movie, I feel like this movie is the reason why he was cast in a lot of things after this point.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I saw The Grinch in this movie.
I could see it, yeah.
I saw Liar Liar in this movie. Which I'm assuming that's after this movie.
It might be. Keep going.
Either way, it's all in the same era of Jim Carrey, right? But I can see those characters, and like if he was casted for those characters because of this movie, I can see where that inspiration came from. As far as like what the director wanted is like, hey, be like Cable Guy, you know? Like that's just how I see it happening.
So yeah, Liar Liar was the next year, so 97. But I also got vibes from like Truman Show, even Man on the Moon a little bit, like the strangeness, the awkwardness of when the Cable Guy, because we don't ever learn his real name, is more subdued and more quiet in his role instead of crazy out there and everything like that. But also like just the darkness of this movie really lends to him going on to roles like, what is it, The Number 23?
Yeah.
And Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, things like that. So I think this movie led to a lot of places, even though people thought it was going to be a career killer for him and for Ben Stiller. So I'm happy it's not, because we got a bunch of great movies from all the people in this movie, right?
Yeah, and then it's funny because Matthew Broderick is just Matthew Broderick.
He is so boring in this movie. Yeah. Like, I feel like he doesn't have any emotion other than, oh,
I miss my girlfriend. Oh, I effed a hooker. Oh,
I didn't steal any equipment.
Get out of my life. Stop saying penis jokes in my ear.
To my mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do feel like he's probably the weakest part of this movie, which is fine because Jim Carrey holds so much weight in his role.
Which I feel like, I mean, he is the main character of this movie. Like, I feel like Matthew Broderick is supposed to be the main character of this movie.
He's not.
But he's not.
No.
Jim Carrey steals the show as he should, and he is the entire movie.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I'm glad that the underperformance of Matthew Broderick didn't kill this movie.
I feel like it elevated Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey's performance.
Yeah, it makes it stand out, and it even makes other characters stand out. Because I feel like Leslie Mann is also at that same level as Matthew Broderick in this movie, where they're both kind of just deadpanned throughout the entire thing, except for like little hints here or there. And even Matthew Broderick, there's moments, you know, when he gets pissed off at the family dinner, you see a little bit more energy out of him. But even Leslie Mann throughout the entire thing's pretty chill, pretty relaxed. Owen Wilson also fucking sucks in this movie.
Hey, you're hot.
That fight scene though, in the, like, when he's getting his ass kicked, you can see how staged the fight is. Like, they don't hide any of the fact that this is a choreographed fight, right? I mean, it's a movie, we get it, we know it. But when he puts his mouth on the air blower, you see him open his mouth so it'll go on the thing before he even gets there.
Yeah.
But also, he has no personality other than douchebag, and I don't feel bad that he gets his ass kicked in the bathroom. You know,
I just wonder if there was like, and this could be a stretch, right? But what if that was intentional to make, you know, like, the normality of people, Matthew bland and
subdued
and chill,
yeah, just people,
and then the Cable Guy, is way up here, and maybe the only way to really have him go to that extreme is to make those other characters boring.
Yeah, but I feel like even Jack Black's character is a little more in the middle. And the middle isn't 50%. When I say the middle between Jim Carrey and Matthew Broderick.
The most we saw out of Jack Black is in the beginning, right, with that first phone call, and then, you know, any other time we've seen him, he's just been like, nah. But whatever.
He also, the funny thing is, the reason that I think about it is, he's like a camera guy of some sort, like for the news or something.
Mm-hmm.
So if Jim Carrey is representing TV, because he's like a representation of how TV gets you obsessed and like gets you feeling all these things. Jim Carrey is the cable guy. And if Matthew Broderick's normal guy getting sucked into that world, the camera guy's in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Also want to point out that we get a crazy cameo by Bob Odenkirk in this in the family dinner scene.
Yeah.
The amount of times Bob Odenkirk has just showed up as a background character in movies that we've been watching is outstanding, honestly. It's so fun. I also want to point out that Kyle Gass at the end of this movie from Tenacious D, he makes a cameo as a guy who TV gets shut off and he picks up a book and just goes,
nice.
I think it's great. There's so many little things throughout. There's a lot of really fun cameos from a lot of people we recognize, especially from the 90s, which is cool. But we've completely messed with our format so far, dude, because we're usually at the point where we're going into like IMDb details.
Oh.
So should we hop into the IMDb of it all?
Not before you tell our listeners where they could find us outside of the podcast.
So Juan's address is come find him, stalk him. He needs a cable guy. But you mean more like social media where
yeah.
If you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify, where you should be dropping a 5-star rating, it really helps us out. We have a lot of ratings. We want more 5 stars. Please. I don't know why I'm covering my mouth like I'm telling a secret.
You are telling a secret.
But yeah, if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, go on down into the description of the video. There's going to be video, podcast, whatever. There's going to be like links to our Instagram and our TikTok and YouTube. So you can go find us on all the social medias down there. It's just BJ in the Morning Podcast on everything, basically. Just go find us. It's not that hard. We show up now.
Yeah.
We show up.
Yeah.
Just like we show up on the podcast every week.
Every single week.
Even as full-time employees and full-time dads.
Yes.
We show up. We put in the work.
And full-time significant others.
But yeah, I forgot that part.
On top of that.
With each other. No, not with each other.
On top of that.
On top.
All right.
There's a lot going on, but we still want to talk about movies with you guys. So if you head on over to any of those social medias, I have a new thing. Go follow us on Instagram. You'll find out what movies we're reviewing ahead of time if you follow the Instagram, because I posted in the stories that what movies we're watching almost a week before we shoot the episode. So if you want to put like 2-3 sentences together about your feelings of a movie, the place to do it's Instagram. You can send us a message.
Shoot us a message.
But now we're going to get into the IMDb details of this movie.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
You ready? The Cable Guy, 1996, rated PG-13, hour 36-minute runtime.
Yeah, it did feel a lot longer than that.
Yes, it did. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But also, it went by really fast. Like, it felt like it was a lot. Like, we're taking in a lot of information. But I started this movie at 9 o'clock last night. And I was done by 10:30. And I was like, I really thought it's midnight.
Yeah, it felt like a lot of time was passing. And I think maybe, like, when you get towards the end of the movie,
it just speeds up, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, the lead up is very slow. It's kind of like a really boring roller coaster for a while, where it's just build up to a little tiny payoff and then more build up. And there are parts of this that remind me of when we watch Wayne's World, where it's like it's just a bunch of sketches put together. I feel like this movie's kind of like that. There's a bunch of, it's not even scenes necessarily. It's like, let's set up this whole scene for a joke, and when that joke pays off, we'll move on to the next joke.
Yeah.
Which works best in a comedy, but when you're trying to make a thriller, I feel like it slows the pacing down, because the thriller should be a lot of build up, slow build up all the way to the climax, and then it should hit you. But the last 30 minutes of this movie, maybe even 20 minutes, where everything starts falling apart and it's going crazy, goes by so ridiculously fast that you don't get to really catch your breath and think about what's going on. The tagline of the movie: a designer makes a grievous mistake when he rejects the friendship of a borderline cable guy.
Sounds about right.
It sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good. You know what doesn't sound that good? The scores on this movie. You ready?
Oh, yeah?
6.2 out of 10 on IMDb with a 56 Metascore. That's kind of low. It's lower of the movies. Top cast. We've already talked about the top two: Jim Carrey, Matthew Broderick, Leslie Mann, Jack Black. We have Ben Stiller. He's in this movie.
On the TV.
We have Janine Garofalo, Andy Dick, David Cross, Owen Wilson, and the list goes on for like background characters and everything like that. So user reviews on IMDb, like I said, 6.2 out of 10.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear some reviews. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
This one's from 2003. It's a long one. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Sorely underrated and a personal favorite. This review is not coming from someone whose top 10 films consist primarily of Farrelly Brother films, or do I have a particular liking for anyone involved in the movie. First of all, hats off to Jim Carrey. I read under the trivia section that his role wasn't originally intended for him, but be honest, can you see anyone else playing the cable guy? He was brilliant. He takes the film from what would have been a run-of-the-mill comedy to levels of greatness, and anyone that thinks I'm being too kind either doesn't like Carrey or needs to watch the movie again. The overall tone of the film is a bit of a mix. It gets darker as the story goes along, but the jokes never mollify. I mean, it's a stalker story with a clever film and television reference-filled script. It's really hard to pin down the identity of this film. 10 out of 10.
Oh.
From 2004. Watch it again. Highly underrated. The most astonishing thing about The Cable Guy is that it simply wasn't liked by critics. However, this was to be expected given the way it was promoted. Not just another Jim Carrey stupid humor movie, as it was unfortunately promoted as. Yeah, have you seen the trailer for this? Did you watch the trailer?
No, but I could only imagine, like that they took that route for promotion because
they needed to bank on Jim Carrey. Yeah, there's a lot of 8s out of 10s in this review section, which is really fun. I'm stumbling into the 1s though. Are you ready? I didn't like this movie. Here's why. 1 out of 10 from 2003. Sorry to all of the fans of Cable Guy, but I just didn't like this movie. And I'd like to tell you why. It was so over the top in every scene that Jim Carrey was in that I was blinded by science. No, wait a minute. I was numbed by the 400-pound comedy club that Jim Carrey likes to wield on his viewers. Sometimes it works, like Ace Ventura, for example, or The Mask, and as well as Liar Liar. But other times, Jim Carrey just smacks you upside the head with his big old 400-pound laugh stick till you want to puke. Case in point, in the film, they go to medieval times restaurants where serving wench Janine Garofalo appears to wait on them. She's a not too bad comic in her own right, a veritable treasure trove of comedic potential. Instead, the scene totally wastes her and proceeds into this totally stupid sketch that depicts Matthew Broderick and Jim Carrey jousting at each other with all sorts of deadly medieval weaponry. Totally dumb, unbelievable, and not funny at all.
That scene is pretty epic.
It lingers. Like it stays in your head forever.
I think my issues with that scene specifically is like they'll show Matthew Broderick being like, no, I don't want to do this, and then he's like, know, and I'm just like, where did that come from? And then in the next scene, he's running away, and it's like,
it's like the stunt guy didn't get the message.
Stunt guy went a little too hard.
Yeah,
But
I also want to think that if you were in Steven's position and you reluctantly went to this thing with this guy you just met who wants to be your best bud, and you're a little hesitant to do all these things, you're still a guy with another guy who wants to be your friend, who's like, fight me in medieval equipment.
Yeah.
You're going to let loose a little bit. You're going to go, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And then that sword's going to be put in your hand and you're going to go, I am a knight. I will fight for my queen and country.
Sure. So I can see like there at the beginning, there's the extremes of Jim Carrey, but there's so, I guess, kind of minor extremes.
It's like hints of what's gonna come, right?
Yeah, but it's still not that bad. Like the basketball game, he's just like roughing him up a little.
The answering machine.
The answering
with like
machine was a little much. We've
all had an ex like that.
But I do like. There was a small part of me thinking like, hey, these guys could actually work it out and be like friends, you know?
And you think they're gonna, and I swear it's just the answering machine that tips the scales, and then the basketball game
and the hooker.
That one pulls the rug. That's
the one where Steve was like,
actually, you're terrible.
You're a horrible.
You're a horrible person. Okay, last one from IMDb. Are you ready? 1 out of 10 from 2001. This movie isn't funny. The stupid humor that worked in Dumb and Dumber was not the least bit hilarious in this film. His character frightened me in each scene more and more, and not once did I laugh. I don't think you watched the same movie as us.
You weren't even necessarily supposed to laugh at this
There's
movie.
some parts, though, where I found myself still laughing. There's parts where I was smiling because I was like, God, this movie's so much fun. When you pick it apart and think about it more than just, oh, this is another Jim Carrey comedy. It's going to be just like Dumb and Dumber, just like Ace Ventura, just like The Mask. I feel like this would have been if Stanley Ipkiss like had a fucking break, like a mental break after The Mask and just became like a normal guy after like maybe The Mask put a parasite in his freaking head and now he can't think straight. This is the next step of The Mask without The Mask.
Yeah.
Because it's a guy who grew up stuck in front of the TV and like not having anybody teach him wrong from right, you know?
The Maskiverse.
Have you heard about the new one they're trying to make?
Yeah.
Based on the comics, so it's going to be very rated R?
Yes.
Give it to us.
Give it to me now.
Give it to us.
Hey. Give it to me now.
It's just like The Last Ronin. Just do it.
Why? What are you waiting for?
Just do it.
Why haven't you made The Last Ronin yet?
You know why?
Why?
Toys.
Fuck the toys.
But if you can't sell toys to kids, people don't want it.
Sell the toys to adults then.
That's the problem with the world today,
man. The millennials will buy them, I promise.
No, but people don't want to admit that adults like candy and toys, you know?
Yeah.
Because when you think adults, do you think us?
No.
You think the
boomers.
The old fucks above us, right?
The boomers.
They're not buying toys.
Yeah.
Right? And the toys they're buying are fucking camper trailers and ATVs and boats.
Toys are for pussies, boy.
Like, how dare you want an action figure?
Don't show them this room.
Moving on. Let's head over to Letterboxd, where, let's face it, Jim Carrey's Cable Guy would live and give all of his reviews to, you know? So the Cable Guy, as it's not pulling up whatsoever, 3.1 on Letterboxd out of 5.
3.1?
3.1.
Okay.
I mean, is that as bad as a 6 out of 10?
No,
I think it's a little better, right?
Yeah.
Let's check out some reviews though from the good old Letterboxd. 3.5 stars. You couldn't make the Cable Guy today because most people don't have cable. It'd be like an internet guy.
Yeah.
Or like solar panel.
Yeah. Xfinity guy.
I'm picturing more solar panels now that I said it. Because did you have an Xfinity guy come out and put your internet in?
We don't have Xfinity over here.
Just answer the question.
Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay, never mind. Moving on.
It was Cox.
2.5 stars. Jack Black is in this. I don't remember him being in this, But that's because nobody really knew him when it came out. Anyway, I watched it at work, and it's not a bad movie. I feel like when we get to the 90s movies, sometimes we don't have the silly off-the-rails letterbox reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have things like this, 3.5 stars. I know too many people like The Cable Guy, and I don't even get free cable out of it.
Yeah.
3 stars. 90s comedies where Bob Odenkirk pops up randomly is an underrated subgenre of movies. 3.5 stars. Time has been kind to this movie. This was not bad at all. In fact, it was really damn good. It's important to know before going into this, it is not a comedy. This is a psychological horror film. I can see it not working for some as a comedy. The jokes don't always land, and the comedy is by far the weakest aspect of the film. It does, however, make up for it in its insanely dark horror elements. It's really good as a horror film. It's the kind of deconstruction of Jim Carrey's classic comedic persona. If we met any person like the characters he plays in real life, they would be genuinely scary dudes. It can get very disturbing. 3 stars.
3 stars.
The most iconic karaoke scene in all of cinema.
Yes.
And last one, 4 stars. Most people don't like this film because of the weird turn Jim Carrey makes in it. I like weird. I like Jim Carrey. I like this film.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know when he starts actually singing in the karaoke in the karaoke
when
party?
The truth is found.
Dude. I was like, okay, Jim Carrey. You know, like, I'm just gonna. We haven't gotten into to the plot yet, but I'm just gonna go out and say it now. This movie would have done so much better if it dropped the comedy, not completely, but dropped the comedy and went for full horror with comedy.
Like how we get horror movies now.
Yeah, with comedy little splashes in there, but stick to horror.
Yeah.
This movie would have done so much better.
And if it was promoted that way.
Yeah.
I texted you when I was watching this, though, that I said this is Jim Carrey presents Obsession.
Because they could have made this actually scary.
Yeah, but you watched Obsession. This is for clips. We both watched Obsession. But when I was watching this, I was like, this is the dude becoming obsessed before Nikki. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is Jim Carrey being obsessed, but like without magic.
Yeah. Just being a crazy guy. Yeah, I mean, I think if this movie was horror and they went for jump scares and they went for,
freak out, scary
the
stuff.
Fear of Steve losing his life, which there wasn't.
The scariest bits for him losing anything was at the very end.
Yeah.
When he kidnaps Robin. So,
yeah, I think if they leaned into it more, it would have done so much better, and they could have kept the silly karaoke scene. They could have kept the little, riffs.
The basketball scene, but maybe without the backboard break.
Yeah,
because I feel like the backboard breaking in the basketball scene like takes me out of that scene. I'm like, that's too much. Normally that shit doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But it happens to Jim Carrey.
Right.
But before we talk everything about this movie, let's start breaking down the plot. Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah.
Go from the top.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're just going to keep going.
Yeah.
We're just going to keep it going. Stephen Kovacs has just been dumped by his girlfriend Robin and moves into a new apartment. We open with him in his apartment trying to get his TV working, and we get a lot of little clues going on from what's going to happen in the movie. Right, we have little hints to the trial that's going on that's got the entire nation glued to their TVs, which is a big subplot to this movie that has nothing to fucking do with anything else.
Yeah, they really bring up a lot of side context things that they don't really go back to at all.
No.
The TV stuff, the internet, expanding stuff.
Him being a designer.
Yeah,
and they're buying a senior citizen home.
Or what does Jack Black's character actually do? We don't see that.
He holds a camera in that one scene.
He holds a camera in
and
one
he goes
scene.
to a concert.
Also, Jack Black's character knows people who can find out who the cable guy is, and they don't know.
I think he's
his,
like a night crawler.
Yeah, they don't know his real name.
Mm-hmm.
But then he goes,
Douglas.
Chip Douglas. I've heard that before. Never explains where they heard it from.
Well, it's from a TV show.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't get that part.
They say it in there because then he goes like, oh, my name's Ernie Douglas, but my friends call me Chip. And then that's from, I don't remember the TV show because it's not a show that I watched.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll look it up.
Okay.
But yeah, the whole opening scene where he's complaining about the cable guy taking forever and he's got all these plans and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I love the line where he's like, he said he'll be here between noon and my death.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so accurate. I feel like we are in an age today where they'll still give you that window and it'll still be the last fucking second before you can complain, you know?
Yeah.
I recently had to go to my mother's house to wait for a package, like a huge, they were getting shelves delivered for their garage.
Yeah.
And she was like, I need you here between 8 and noon. And I was like, oh, that's a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I got there, I brought my laptop to like work on some videos and I was sitting there, I set it all up. 8:15, they pull up.
Really?
I'm like, so why did I set up all my stuff? Like I should have just sat down and like chilled and drank some coffee or something.
You know what's the funny thing is when you expect them to be there at noon, they're at 8:00.
Yeah.
Always happens. But if you wake up and you're ready for them at 8:00, they don't get there till noon.
Mm-hmm.
It's like something in the universe is telling these delivery people or whoever, service people, to show up when you don't want them there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I had my fridge.
The show's My Three Sons.
My Three Sons. I had my fridge delivered.
Mm-hmm.
Like a year ago maybe.
Yeah.
And they said we'll be there between 7 and 10 in the morning.
When they get here.
7 a.m. on the dot.
On the dot.
On
they
my
were
day
ready.
off.
Jeez.
And I was in bed because I was like, they're not coming till 10.
Yeah. They're going to come at 9:52.
They're not coming till 10. And they dropped off my fucking fridge at 7 in the morning.
Nice.
Not that nice.
But I love in this movie that he does all these things around the apartment and sets things up. And it's when he's deciding to take a shower. That's when the cable guy shows up. And he's banging on the door and everything. And
he's about to leave.
I love that he goes, I was going to go to that bed and bath place, but they're closed now. So
yeah.
He is very standoffish and very much a dick to this random guy.
Yeah.
And at this point in time, we don't know Jim Carrey is going to be a fucking psychopath. But Matthew Broderick, Steven is so much of an asshole to him. It's not even funny. And I love that he immediately claps back. Was like, well, I guess I should just leave, jerk off. You know, like.
Yeah, I think Jim Carrey, the cable guy, really humbles him very quickly.
Yeah.
Because he never acts like that to him again.
Right. But I think that's the first step where he knows that he can manipulate this guy. And when you really think about this whole thing, it's like it is the perfect timing for like a cult to swoop in and steal this guy. Yeah. And he almost falls for it when he's sitting down on the TV, like watching TV later. And there's the infomercial and he goes to call it. But Chip Douglas shows up. The cable guy shows up and like gets him to leave or whatever. Yeah. But like he was either going to fall into a cult or rebound hard. And he's just rebounding with a psychopathic guy instead of a really bad date. You know what I mean? So I think the chips fall so perfectly for this whole thing to come together, right? So Steven hears from Jack Black that if he slips the cable guy some money, he can get free cable upgrade. And Chip immediately flips on him again and's like, this is illegal, what you just did, it can be punishable by law, all this stuff. And then he switches again.
Just kidding.
Just jerking your chain.
Let's get you juiced up, he says.
Yeah. And while he's leaving afterwards, he mentions like, oh, you should come down and see the satellite and all this stuff. And that starts the whole chain of events where Chip becomes increasingly obsessed with Steven, and he keeps calling him, and they go to the satellite dish, and he seems fine.
Mm-hmm.
When he picks him up, he's making jokes like, I've been drinking, so you better buckle up. And like, but he's so knowledgeable about how cable works and like the TV, and he predicts the future of like playing Mortal Kombat with people in Vietnam and stuff like that, right?
He seems like a normal guy with just like weird quirks. And
He's a millennial.
Yeah.
Who lives by quoting The Office to everyone.
For sure.
And living off movie quotes.
Yeah.
Oops.
Sorry.
But I also think he twists a lot of what he says around, and he's heard it from someone else, from a TV or from whatever, right? He's learned all these things, and he's using it against Steven this entire time. But he starts inserting himself into Steven's life, like the basketball scene, which is a scene that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was a scene that they threw in to juice up the comedy. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this scene was just made to, A, put in the trailers to make it look more like a funny Jim Carrey movie. But B, to like get away from the dark shit going on in Steven's life and like how we're slowly seeing the cracks form with Chip.
Yeah.
And bring Jack Black into the situation.
I think it was a scene thrown in there to have that gradual increase of how crazy he can get, because after this is medieval times,
right? And
after this,
well, there's like the stuff with him and Robin.
Okay, so after this, they got the phone calls, and then he turns the cable off on him, and so after that, it's more of like a hey, medieval time scene is pretty extreme.
We need a build up to that.
We need something that's going to build up to that. So I think that's why they put that in there. Because it's still a lot, but it's like a possibility for something like that to happen. It's not too unnormal.
Until you really think about it, like, how did he know that he's there
playing
basketball?
that except for that part.
Right.
But
so Steven does try to distance himself from Chip. Chip gives him the advice to watch Sleepless in Seattle. It's on cable, so get Robin to come over. Everything's going fine. That's when the cable shut off happens, and he pretends, because Steven's not been calling him back and everything. Chip pretends that the cable's broken, and it's a manipulation tactic. But this is when he invites him to medieval times. He doesn't know he's going to medieval times. But Chip is helping Steven a lot with Robin, and it seems to be working. But I think as soon as Chip realizes that it's working too well, he's trying to fuck it up again. So he goes back to like spying on her and like creating events to try to get them separate again, but also keep them together. And it's like this bait and switch. It's a back and forth. It's a tug of war, basically. Because if Robin gets too close, he knows that Steven's going to go away. But if Robin goes too far, Steven's going to slump back into his depression and not want to hang out with anyone, right?
Yeah.
But then they go to medieval fucking times. And, I went to medieval times a couple months ago. And I think I was sending you pictures and just saying, we need to come back, and just start yelling all the quotes from this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Not knowing we were going to be doing this episode now.
Yeah.
But it is the most outrageous and crazy part of this movie, I think. Because Chip makes all these connections and gives everyone all this free cable, all these people just do whatever they want, or lets him do whatever he wants. So my thing is, Chip is manipulating dozens of people in this area
yeah,
by free cable. And I think that becomes like a criticism on the 90s and the rise of cable and how much TV has like had an effect on people.
Yeah.
And how much the grasp of entertainment in the 90s, whether it be TV shows, movies, but also we keep cutting back to that trial where they were televising a murder case.
Yeah.
At the same time in real life, we had like O.J. Simpson stuff going on. But the fact that we've turned tragedy like that and what you think would be boring as fuck, a courtroom, they've turned that into entertainment. I think that shows like how easy Chip can just manipulate all these people. But that's why I say Chip is the embodiment of television in the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, it's to the point where people will do anything for cable and the ability to watch TV, and
we have
throw in free movies with that
HBO, dude, for free.
Shit!
Wow.
No commercials, dude.
And now we have to pay $7 for every streaming service with ads.
Might as well just pay for cable with.
Are we going
movies.
back? Are we going back to cable?
We might have to.
Satellite TV.
Yeah, but then there's things that are like, only exclusively on Disney Plus, and you're like, I want to watch that though. How am I supposed to watch it? I don't have cable.
You sound like Curry Barker right now. So Steven learns that Chip has a weird history. A history of stalking previous friends, and that his childhood was very lonely. And he was basically just raised by television because his mom would constantly go out. And my theory is that his mom might have been a hooker. And that's why he's totally fine with getting a hooker to Steven's house for the karaoke jam.
Yeah. I can see that.
So he learns about how he was just plopped in front of TV as a kid, and it's kind of melted his brain. And that's why we have timers on our internet for the kids streaming shit.
Right.
So we have this scene where they get back and he goes, I left equipment in your living room. Just go grab it for me. And it's this huge fucking entertainment center with these huge speaker stacks, this pretty big TV. I think your TV in here is bigger than the one that's in the movie.
Yeah.
But at the time it was huge, right? And it leads to this party they throw because Steven's pretty bummed, but him and Chip are getting along at this point.
Yeah.
He learns about his past, and it's kind of like opens his eyes a little bit. Like, he's just a guy that's damaged. We can be buds.
Fucking Christ.
And
I keep getting something in my eye. I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay, man.
It's like a piece of lint, or I can't stop.
Pineapples. So they have this huge party, and this party seems pretty chill, but it is the weirdest assortment of people from different age ranges.
Yeah, it's like all these older men and women, and one younger
weird as fuck, and then like the weird fucking guy.
Yeah.
And then the most attractive person there is apparently a hooker. Do you actually think she was? Or was he messing with her?
I mean,
with him?
She might have been. I got the vibe that she was, just because of how quickly she was.
Let's go to the bedroom and talk.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
And then she was like rubbing his head, almost like she was servicing him in a way.
Yeah.
And then when Jim Carrey comes in with the Polaroid and takes a picture, like,
you're like, oh, you're done now.
She's
Steven.
like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think that was more likely to be somebody who was
selling themselves,
hired for this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then the next morning, everything's chill until Chip reveals that she was a hooker. And I want to point out that he says scramby eggs. Just eat scramby eggs.
Scramby eggs and bacon.
And our friend Devin Sweeters always fucking says scramby eggs. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever, like, as soon as I heard it when I watched the movie for the podcast, I was like, He says that all the fucking time.
Did he get it from this movie?
I'm wondering.
Probably.
But also,
possibly.
of all our friends, he's the most Jim Carrey fucking acting guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense. Shout out to Devin. Hope he's doing okay.
Shout out.
Out in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So things start going off the rails. Chip is getting more and more into Steven's head. And he starts really realizing that he is dangerous.
Mm-hmm. He
is a little more than just a friend. He's very obsessed. He's stalking him. He's doing all these things to set him up, right?
Yeah.
He spies on Robin.
Yep.
Just to get information to use against Steven later.
Mm-hmm.
But he also beats the fuck out of Owen Wilson in the bathroom.
Yep.
To keep Robin's on the hook.
Date. Yeah.
And then after Steven loses his shit, gets arrested for the karaoke machine stuff.
That was stolen property, apparently.
And they have the freak out at the family dinner with the porno password.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty funny scene. It's very awkward, though. You can feel...
I thought it was funny that, like, yeah, you're playing it with your family, you're going to feel awkward, but, like, the whole family is okay with it.
Yeah, so you just gotta do it.
Yeah, this is so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like something that they probably would have never gotten out of Steve.
Yeah.
And it's like fun to them. Like they're just people.
Break out of your friggin' shell. It's the 90s.
You're like 35 years old in this movie.
Right?
Come on, just say penis.
Penis.
Sorry.
Nipple.
Yeah. Center.
Hard erection.
And he goes breast, and the mom goes tit.
But this is about the time that Chip gets beat up by Steven in the family dinner, right? And that's when it really just goes off the rails. Mm-hmm. Steven's arrested for the stolen stuff. He gets basically fired. I'm pretty sure he's fired from his job because Chip had put like surveillance stuff in the apartment and caught him saying all this stuff about his boss. He's got the photo of him and the hooker, and he's using that as blackmail against him.
Yep.
And everything's coming apart. And that's when Steven gets Jack Black back involved, and they're like, wait a second, this guy, he doesn't even work for the cable company.
Mm-hmm. He was fired a long time ago.
From a bunch of them.
Yep.
So
for being crazy.
And that's when Chip decides to kidnap Robin.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes her back to the satellite dish. It's raining. It's dark. It's scary. But we get the most unhinged, like, movie villain, like James Bond level villain out of Jim Carrey.
Monologue.
He's monologuing. I love when he's climbing up the ladder and he's like, you know what sucks about real life? It doesn't have intense music. And he starts doing the music, like humming along and screaming the music. And then the music of the movie matches what he's doing. And I think that's just... It's like so funny that it's not funny.
Yeah.
That it's funny again.
And they did that same thing in the medieval times scene.
Yeah, because he was mimicking the Star Trek music. I don't know if the song at the end, the orchestra playing at the end, is from something specific, but it just matches perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, it's great. It's a good callback, and it almost feels like fourth wall break-ish kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this whole scene is him really monologuing and going about how TV is a problem.
Yeah.
And now it's causing a lot of issues. And the climax of the movie is that he falls off the top of the tower onto the satellite dish, stopping the broadcast of the trial right before the verdict is put out to everyone.
Yeah.
And everyone loses their minds.
Everyone's watching TV at this moment. And you think Jim Carrey, the cable guy, he just died.
Yeah.
He got impaled. And it was almost like a beautiful moment. You know, the cable guy died. And then everybody that he hooked up with cable
lost
their cable. Like not beautiful, symbolic.
Yeah,
is what I meant. It's like a symbolic scene. And you know, and then the guy picks up a book and it's like, oh, look, everyone's gonna realize they're need
gonna
TV.
Be better people.
Nope.
No, but the thing is, it's symbolic because Chip Douglas died,
Mm-hmm.
and now he gets
He's Ricardo.
He's Ricardo. But he doesn't die. He gets injured. He's picked up by the helicopter, and the guy, the paramedic, says, "You're gonna be okay, buddy." And he says, "Do you mean it? Am I your buddy?" And then he says,
yeah.
"And he's Ricky Ricardo." And you're like, yeah, Chip Douglas died, but Ricky Ricardo lives.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the movie ends.
I mean, doesn't really end.
We don't
Jim
know.
Carrey's gonna go be obsessed with the paramedic now.
I want to see that movie now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Just a
really
sequel.
I don't really want to see it, but I want to know what happens.
Mm-hmm.
How crazy. Steven's a designer of like old folks' homes.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know what happens when he befriends a paramedic who has access to helicopters
Right.
and life-saving equipment.
Mm-hmm.
That's the horror movie we need.
Yes.
We watched the movie. We broke down the movie. Went over some scenes. Little by little. Broke down Jim Carrey.
Little by little.
Little by little. What's your takeaway, man? Is this a good movie? Is it just nostalgia? Is it different than what you thought it was? What's your thought process? What are you feeling, man?
So before rewatching this movie, there's definitely, it definitely passes the nostalgia check because we think about this movie all the time. We quote this movie all the time, but we quote the quotable scenes. We remember the most memorable scenes.
Yeah.
Which is the medieval times part, like, because that's just so out of the ordinary. That
and the cable guy,
Yeah.
like those little moments. Yeah, those are all nostalgia.
Such small moments that are so memorable. It's pretty incredible. Like how, I haven't seen this movie that many times, but I still know all of those scenes or those quotes.
You didn't have forks in medieval times, but you had Pepsi.
I have a lot of tables, sir. But like rewatching this movie, it still kind of gave me that 90s feel. It's definitely like 90s style edits.
Pacing even.
The pacing, but I think like the comedy, like the need for comedy in this movie does take me out a bit to where, like I said before, if this movie went full horror with the comedy, accents, then I think this movie would have done so much better and had so much more potential, or the story at least.
Yeah.
So Jim Carrey is great. He's always great. He's always gonna be great. And Jim Carrey is Jim Carrey. So any Jim Carrey you watch, it's hard to hate it. It's hard to be like, whoa, well, he's the same guy in every movie, but he's not. In the 90s, he kind of was pushing it.
I think the studio was trying.
Yeah, with the extreme Jim Carrey mannerisms and dialogue. But Matthew Broderick is so bland. Everybody else in this movie is so bland, and they do nothing for
except
me.
Andy Dick.
Yeah, he was the medieval times
the king,
right? Yeah. But like when Jim Carrey is not on screen, these people do nothing for me, nothing, and that plays into like my score of this movie. It is a cohesive story, but it dragged for a long time. Like, I don't know if it just like I can't really put my finger on it, if it was like the excessive use of like Jim Carrey being extreme, or every time we cut back to where Jim Carrey's not around and it just felt like it slowed down so much. And I just remember when I got to the scene in the hallway in the context, a dream sequence, I was like, this movie's not over yet.
Dude, when he's running on the wall behind him, though, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, after that scene, it was like, wait, this movie, we're not reaching the end yet.
Mm-hmm.
And we were far from the end.
Yeah.
But that's when it went so fast and Jim Carrey was just doing thing after thing after thing after thing
Mm-hmm.
to ruin Steve's life. And then it's the end.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
So
And he's off to the next victim.
yeah. So
How many people do you think he's killed? Chip Douglas.
he has to have killed people.
At least one, right?
For sure.
I think his dad when he was a kid.
You think so?
Yeah.
Mm.
Probably not. But that's just like, if
Maybe
this was
he-
a horror movie,
Maybe he killed his mom for leaving him alone all the time.
it's a Norman Bates situation.
yeah.
What's the other guy? What's the real Ed Gein?
And
Yeah.
then he's just has to live with that.
Oh, he
and
doesn't.
it screwed up his brain even
He's just
more.
become a TV flipping through the channels in his head.
That's another thing too, is like, I wish they leaned more into that. Like, they basically implied that he's raised by the TV. Like, what if they actually leaned into that?
And it was
like
more quotes and more tropes from the movies.
more quotes, or he's actually trying to
cliches.
recreate things that he
Mhm.
saw on TV.
Yeah.
Or he saw, like, obviously Silence of the Lambs. Maybe he's trying to recreate a kill
Silence
or
of
something.
the Lambs.
And that's where we get one of the Mandela effects from
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah, because of that.
He says, "Hello, Clarice,"
Mhm.
and that he doesn't say that.
Mhm.
He doesn't say that in Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Milk. That's what it sounded like you were gonna say.
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. So what's your score on this, man?
My score.
I need your score. Tell me if you'd recommend this movie to someone who's never seen it.
I would recommend it, but according to all the other movies that we've seen and rated, and I'm just trying to be as fair as possible to the list that we already have,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give this movie a 6.5.
Nice. That's not bad.
It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as high as I thought I was going to give it when I first watched this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when we decided to watch this movie.
Yeah.
But watching it, I'm teetering between a 6.5. Jim Carrey's performance is just so, he made this movie not boring.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was anybody else, I think this movie would have been boring. And I found out that Ben Stiller was supposed to be the cable guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that would have worked out.
I feel in the 90s, I feel like he could have pulled it off.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have been to this level, though.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. So if it was anybody else, this movie would have probably really sucked,
mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, 6.5.
Nice. So I'm going to go now. Are you ready?
Go now.
I'm going to go now.
Go
I'm going to go
now.
home. I'm just going to go home.
Get out of here. I'll finish up.
So when we picked this movie to watch, I had fond memories of it. Again, it's been a long time since the last time I had watched it. I feel like I might have just put it on because it showed up on Prime or HBO or something, back within the last 10 years, right? It probably just showed up and I put it on, maybe didn't pay attention to it a lot. I have a lot of really fond memories, and a lot of those memories are why it is just a nostalgic movie at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily a bad movie, but it's not necessarily a good movie because of a lot of things we've talked about. Like, Jim Carrey is the most animated of all of the cast.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Broderick is so boring and so single-noted. Like, there's never that much inflection. I don't believe anything that he's saying when he says it. I don't believe that him and Robin are together ever.
Mm-hmm.
Leslie Mann is so good at just being in a movie
Mm-hmm.
that this movie should have been easy for her to just be in it, because she uses her eyes so well to just convey that she's like in love with someone. Like, even in George of the fucking Jungle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in this movie, I'm like, don't say anything. Don't say words, because I don't believe anything that's coming out of your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
They're so bland and boring. And I want to give him credit where we talked about how the balance between Jim Carrey and all the other characters are normal people versus TV. But I don't want that in a movie.
Yeah.
I don't I couldn't handle it. I would stop paying attention when Jim Carrey wasn't in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I gave a little props to the like little cameos we got throughout, and Jack Black, he's still pretty new in the 90s. You know, he's making his way through becoming Jack Black today, but even he can't keep my attention. Seeing Bob Odenkirk in the family game night thing was fun. Seeing Kyle Gass at the end, fun.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime the movie slowed down and Jim Carrey wasn't in it, and it would cut to the TV showing anything about the trial, I don't care about any of it. I think Ben Stiller is hilarious, and I think that he's a great writer and a great director. I'm glad that this movie didn't kill his career.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, the scenes that stand out because they're funny. The scenes that fall behind are everything else in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The thriller aspect of the movie isn't what sticks in your head. It's not what you hold on to, especially since we probably watched this when we were way too young to understand any of it.
Yeah.
I want to give it props for being a parody of thriller movies, but Scream did that so much better just a couple years later. You know?
With the actual horror thriller elements.
Right.
You know?
This movie, it felt like two movies put together and they just tried to make it. And again, it is a nostalgic movie. I don't think it's a great movie whatsoever. It is better than most people have put online, like the reviews that we have read. But when it comes to the acting is bad. Like everyone's so one dimensional. I don't believe anyone. The editing is very 90s. The pacing very slow until it's not, and then it's so fast that you're like, what, the movie's over? Mm-hmm. And I think that if it had that slow build all the way up to the climax and we stayed in the climax of the movie a little bit longer, it is such a cool set piece, that satellite dish. I wish we could have stayed there a little bit longer.
Yeah.
When it's raining and all that, the monologues are great, and everything that he says is, like Chip says, is great to pay attention to in that scene. But I don't want Matthew Broderick to have a happy ending.
Mm.
I don't think him and Robin are good together because they're so boring.
Yeah, and in a way, he is kind of obsessed with her.
Yeah.
Also, you know, like he gets his second chance, and he's like, I can't do anything to mess this up, so I'm gonna drop you, and whoever.
Yeah, and
doesn't matter.
The shit is, like, we know people have done that.
Mm-hmm.
We know people who have dropped everyone else because of their partner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
How's that work for anyone? Like, cool, guess he's never going to see anyone ever again.
Mm-hmm.
And even Jack Black says, oh, you're standing me up again? Like, he's done this shit before.
Yeah.
He's a bad friend.
Yeah.
Period. Is Chip a good friend? Fuck no. But don't stand up Jack Black to go to a concert. Like, you don't stand up going to a concert with Jack Black.
Yeah.
That is a dream. I don't care who we're seeing. If Jack Black's the going, I'm going. But I'm going to give this movie a 5.5.
Okay.
I wanted to like it more, and I think my nostalgia was really doing a lot of heavy lifting on this movie. Again, I like watching it. I'll watch it again. I'd recommend it to people who are maybe not huge Jim Carrey lovers, who want to see the other side of Jim Carrey. But when I think of the other side of Jim Carrey, I'm going straight for Truman Show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going straight for Man on the Moon. I'm going straight to Eternal Sunshine. Those are the movies that I would pick over this one if you're trying to differentiate Ace Ventura for Joel in Eternal Sunshine.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, 5.5. It is all nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
This movie's not a great movie. It's not top 5%. It's not like the top 50% of our list for me. It's right in the middle. Still would watch it 20 times before I watch Hell of a Summer again.
100%.
Yeah. And that's the end of our episode.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell the people what we're watching next week?
We are watching... No. Yes. We are watching 1996 Primal Fear.
Edward Norton.
Ed Norton.
This is like the one that blew him up. This is the movie that made him Edward Norton. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing about this movie. We've never seen it.
Nope.
The trailer, we watched the trailer, The trailer is very 90s. It is.
Yeah.
It feels like it's trying to be comedic.
It doesn't really do a good job explaining what to expect, you know?
But I know that there's a twist in this movie that is going to blow our socks off. That's all I know. I'm trying not to look up anything else about this movie. I just know the twist is something that people still talk about. So I'm excited for that. And it's a movie we've never seen before.
Right.
Maybe it'll be better than The Cable Guy.
Maybe.
We'll find out next week when you come back and listen to the show on Apple or Spotify. Or watch it on YouTube.
At BG in the Morning Podcast.
And then go over to Instagram. And if you have seen Primal Fear and want to get in on the action,
send us a message.
And go over there right now. I bet you we're posting about whatever the next movie is going to be already. So if you want the inside scoop, you just got to follow us on Instagram. It's not even a secret club. You don't have to sign up to like Discord or Patreon or any of that shit. You just got to go follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it'll be there in our stories.
You can watch these movies with us.
In spirit, not personally. We haven't figured out how we would do that. Yeah. So, yeah, just go to Instagram and you like keep track of what we're up to and what we're doing. And if you want to hang out in person and you're in the Tucson area, we're going to be at Tucson Comic-Con in September.
Woo!
It's coming, dude. It's getting closer and closer.
Fast. Yeah.
And I can't wait. I'm so pumped. They've got a lot of really great like guests coming this year. Who we got? Just one off the top of your dome.
Lou Ferrigno.
Dude.
The Hulkster, dude.
The Ferrig himself.
The Ferrig.
I'm still going to track down a copy or a poster of I Love You Man for him to sign. And then if we ever get the chance to meet Paul Rudd.
That'd be sick.
Paul Rudd should come to Tucson Comic-Con.
Paul Rudd, what are you waiting for, dude?
How insane.
He's busy.
But yeah, a little bit.
He's busy.
With Doomsday and Secret Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's busy.
A little busy. A little bit busy. But I'm really pumped for Tucson Comic-Con. So go get your tickets now. It's like $65 for the whole weekend, which is still cheaper than one day of other cons that we've been to.
Pretty dang good. Yeah.
And
pretty dang good.
We went last year and had a blast. So you should come join us. We have a lot of friends that are going to be there that we met last year, and I'm excited to see them again too.
Yeah.
So come hang out with us, and maybe we'll have a secret plan or a hangout or something planned during the Comic-Con dates.
Right.
We're still working on the details, trying to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
But until next time, thank you so much for listening to BJ in the Morning. My name is Brendan.
And I'm Juan.
And
we'll talk to you next time.